Hey guys, it's Alyssa and I'm back with another video today. I know it's been a while since I have done a what sold video, so this is actually catching up for the past 2 months just because I've been so busy and doing so many different things, whether it be 2 markets that I did in October and also moving. There's just so much that's been happening that my what sold videos kind of got delayed. I wasn't able to do one for the month of September, and I wasn't able to do one for the month of October yet. So this is a combination of both of those months, and I will be sharing what I sold on Etsy first, and then I'm also going to share what I sold at one of my recent live markets. I just have the stats from one market. I did do 2 markets in October, but I'm going to share with you what sold at my bigger market where it was the multiple days. So I'll give you a little bit of some spicy info with that. So I hope you enjoy this fun video of showing what sold for my Etsy shop in the months of September and October. Before we get started with what sold on Etsy, I do also want to announce that I'm going to be doing Vlogmas this year. This will be my first time ever doing Vlogmas, and I'm very excited. I've planned out my videos for the most part, just have a few at the end that I still need to plan for the last couple of days of Vlogmas, but I'm very excited to be doing it. It's obviously a big undertaking and a lot of work to come out with 25 videos in 25 days, and that's more than I've ever done before, obviously, so I'm a little bit nervous with that workload, but I'm still very excited about what I will be doing. So be on the lookout for that, and also be on the lookout on my community tab for a Q&A post, because I'm going to be doing a Q&A video during the Vlogmas, and so I thought it'd be fun to get some fun questions from you. All right, without further ado, let's talk about what sold in September first off. For the Etsy shop, September was kind of a slower month, and October was kind of a slower month as well. And I blame that mainly on myself because I just wasn't posting a lot. I kind of took a break from posting as I was preparing to move and also preparing to do the 2 live markets. I didn't want a lot of my inventory to be sold ahead of time, online. So I kind of paused a little bit, and that's also why it took me a while to make this video and show what I sold, just because I was like, I didn't really sell a lot in either month, so a combination I feel like is better. So what sold in September, the first thing that sold was actually a set of stamps. Now, I know I've shared this multiple times, but I do work with my uncle who is a stamp collector, and I put some of his stamps on my Etsy shop that he sells, and I give him 80% of what sells, and then I keep 20%. So it's a little deal that I do with him to help him sell some of his stamps. The next thing that sold was actually a person that ordered 3 different things. Now, usually when someone orders from me, they're most likely only ordering 1 item. So when I saw this order come through, I was so excited. So this was 3 different glass crystal plates that I had. And like little trinket dishes, jewelry trays. So really cute stuff. So the first one was like a glass cut serving plate, so it was a little bit bigger. The next one was this really cute floral dish that was a really small one, and then the next one was really gorgeous, probably one of my favorite pieces that I've had on my shop, and I've had it on my shop since almost I started, so I was really happy to see that it sold. But it was a pressed glass tray, trinket tray, and it was so gorgeous. So those all sold to the same person, and it was a pretty big order, so I was happy with that one. Now moving on to the month of October for what sold on my Etsy shop. The first thing that sold was a set of wall decor items. Now, if you've ever heard of the Blue Boy and the Pinky Lady, these are something that are made by, I think, Gainsborough is the company. But they're art that if you've ever been to like your grandma's house or your mom's house or whatever, you may have seen stuff like this, especially in like the bathroom or even the kitchen. So I had 2 of these that I had on my shop, and those sold. The next thing that sold was a really cool thing, and that was it was a glass wedding basket vase. and it looks like, a big crystal vase, but they call them wedding baskets. And it's gorgeous. One of my favorite pieces for sure. So a lot of my favorite pieces seem to have sold in the past 2 months. But yeah, that was a really cute item, and I was so happy to see it go to a new home because I had had it on my store for a very long time. So that is what sold for October and September on Etsy. Like I said, pretty slow as far as sales go, but again, my shop was closed on vacation mode for quite a bit of time, just simply because I was doing those live events and wasn't really able to ship items out. And also I didn't want my inventory to sell ahead of time, but while I was, planning to do these markets or even at these markets. So that is kind of accounting for why the months were slower. Now, let's talk a little bit about the City Mercantile, which is an event that I did in October. It was 3 days, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I sold quite a few items. I was hoping to do better and sell more things, especially some bigger furniture pieces, but that didn't really end up happening. I heard from lots of other vendors that said that overall the event was much slower than they were anticipating, and I would definitely agree with that too. So I was a little disappointed with that, but I still made back my vendor fee and went home, happy. Not overjoyed, but I was okay. So let's talk about what sold. So I had these really cool sets of little oil lamp lanterns. So the first thing that sold was actually one of those, one of the small ones. And then I was actually doing a fundraiser for my little cousins, and they're going on this dance trip with their dance program. The younger one is, and so she's doing a fundraiser for that. So I actually sold some stuff for her. So the first thing I sold was one bookmark. Her and her sister made bookmarks, lanterns, and also bracelets. The next thing that sold was 3 small claw clips. I oftentimes, when I go do these live shows, I bring what I consider more giftable items. So these aren't vintage items, but these are just something that I can kind of merchandise in my, shop and booth setup, so that I have some smaller things. Like if someone's just looking around, maybe they can pick something up that's small and inexpensive. And claw clips is a great way to do that. It's something that's trendy and also a great filler of space. So I sold 3 small clips, and then another person came by and bought 1 small claw clip. The next sale was another one of those oil lamp lanterns that sold. Then the next thing was this really, really beautiful blue and gold trinket box. I wish I had pictures of all of these things. I don't, unfortunately, but it was just a gorgeous little box that I was actually kind of hoping would be on my Etsy shop, because I just wanted to take pictures of it so badly. But it ended up selling before I was able to even think about adding it to one of my drops. The next thing that sold was 2 bracelets. Again, that was for my little cousin who's doing the fundraiser. And then after that, I also sold 2 amber glass pitchers. These were 2 little mini pitchers, and they were like crackle glass. Really, really beautiful. And the next thing is our first sale that we made for Saturday. So those were all of Friday's sales. Friday was pretty slow, but Saturday ended up actually being the slowest day for me. So I was pretty shocked by that. So Saturday I sold one of the lanterns. Again, that was my first sale. And then the next thing I sold was a bracelet and a bookmark together. And then the last thing I sold for Saturday was another mini lamp. So only 3 sales on Saturday. And I felt like the traffic was about the same from Friday, if not a little bit more at the beginning of the day. And I had been told that Saturday was the biggest day for this market. So I was heavily, heavily disappointed with what happened on Saturday. And so I actually kind of reworked my booth and changed things up. If you missed the vlog about this market, you can find it on my channel here. I vlogged both markets that I went to, but specifically this bigger market. And so I kind of talked through how I reworked everything and rearranged everything, really hoping to get better sales on Saturday. And then it ended up just being disappointing. But it turned around on Sunday. Sunday is usually the slowest day for most markets, so I was really happy to see that I did quite well on Sunday and actually sold my most amount of things. So I was happy with that. The first thing I sold was a crystal plate with this gold rim around it. Really, really cute. I had had it for a while and just had never added it to my Etsy shop for whatever reason. So I put it out with my items that were at this market, and it ended up selling. The next thing was another crystal item. This was a crystal bowl that had this floral design on it. It was really, really gorgeous, and it was like mixed with colors too, so it wasn't just crystal, like, you know, see-through crystal and clear. So it was kind of unique in that way. So that sold. The next thing was a set of amber glass goblets. Now these were a set that were actually on my Etsy shop, so I should be able to share a picture of these with you, but it was a set of 4 glasses, and I believe it was from Indiana Glass. Beautiful. Anything amber glass I'm obsessed with, and I think I've mentioned that a couple of times before. So that was really cool that those sold. I put them out front every day, you know, of this event because they were just so gorgeous and so many people looked at them. So they were able to really draw people's attention in for my booth. The next thing that sold was a set of bird shakers. Like, I just wrote bird shakers, but it was like salt and pepper shakers that were shaped like a bird. They were really pretty, and they were kind of Christmassy too. The next thing that sold was a really cute candle holder that was really colorful, and it was in the shape of a bird. And after that, I also sold a little Christmas tree tray that was like a trinket tray. It was fully white, but it was in the shape of a Christmas tree. The next thing that sold was one of my music books. This was a book that was like a vintage book and had a brown cover, and I used it for pictures all the time. So that sold, and then I also sold an Elson Reader book, and that was another vintage looking book that was really cute, and it was blue. The next thing that sold was 2 milk glass vases. Milk glass, as I've said multiple times, is one of my most popular items on my Etsy shop. So I was kind of surprised that it took that long for milk glass to sell in, you know, the event live, but it ended up being one of those events where a lot of other people had milk glass. So I think it was just oversaturated in person a little bit. And that might be something that's happening over time as well, just with shops, vintage shops in general. The next thing that sold was another bracelet for my cousin's fundraiser. After that, I sold 2 music sheet rolls. Another thing I sold was a crystal bowl item. It was another really pretty crystal bowl that I had. I had a lot of crystal items actually for this event. The next thing that sold was a really, really beautiful antique rye bottle, and it was a brown bottle that had like a stamp on it. It was a gorgeous bottle, and really worked well with like vase, like a bottle vase thing where you could put, you know, different flowers, leaves, anything that you would like in it. The next thing that sold was a floral applique bowl. And then the last thing that sold was a tote bag. So I had a few tote bags left over from some markets that I had done in the past, like a few years back, that said shop small on them. And so I had 2 of those left. So one of those ended up selling. So yeah, guys, that is what sold for my shop in the month of September and October. Sorry that I wasn't able to give you what sold at my first market. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but a decent amount did sell at that market. I was actually really pleasantly surprised with how I did. But I definitely wanted to make sure to share with you what sold at that bigger market that was 3 days long. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure and subscribe and like this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye!